Daniel Wroughton Craig is an English actor who gained international fame playing the secret agent James Bond in the film series, beginning with Casino Royale and in 4 further installments, up to No Time to Die. After training at the National Youth Theatre in London and graduating from the Guildhall School of Music and Drama in 1991, Craig began his career on stage. He made his film debut in the drama The Power of One and the family film A Kid in King Arthur's Court, with his breakthrough role coming in the drama serial Our Friends in the North. He gained prominence for his supporting roles in films such as Elizabeth, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, Road to Perdition, Layer Cake, and Munich. In 2006 he took on the role of James Bond in Casino Royale, a reboot of the Bond franchise which was favorably received by critics and earned Craig a nomination for the BAFTA Award for Best Actor in a Leading Role. His non-Bond appearances since then include roles in fantasy film The Golden Compass, the drama Defiance, the science fiction western Cowboys and Aliens, the mystery thriller The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the heist film Logan Lucky, and the mystery comedy Knives Out, the later earning him a Golden Globe Award nomination. In 2011 he made his Broadway debut in the revival of Harold Pinter's Betrayal opposite his wife, actress Rachel Weisz. In 2016 he starred in the New York Theatre Workshop production of Othello. In 2022 he returned to Broadway in the title role of Macbeth with Ruth Negga. Early life. Daniel Wroughton Craig was born in Chester, Cheshire on March 2, 1968, the son of art teacher Carol Olivia and Timothy John Wroughton Craig, a midshipman in the Merchant Navy and steel erector. His father later became the landlord of 2 Cheshire pubs, the Ring o' Bells in Frodsham and the Boot Inn in Tarporley. Craig has an older sister named Lee. He is of French and Welsh descent, counting the French Huguenot minister Daniel Chamier and Sir William Burnaby, 1st Baronet among his ancestors. His middle name, Wroughton, comes from his great-great-grandmother, Grace Matilda Wroughton. When Craig's parents divorced in 1972, he and his sister moved to the Wirral Peninsula with their mother, where he attended primary school in Hoylake as well as school in Frodsham. He attended Hilbre High School in West Kirby. Upon leaving there at the age of 16, he attended Caldeay Grange Grammar School as a 6th form student. He played rugby union for Hoylake RFC. Craig began acting in school plays at the age of 6, making his debut in the Frodsham Primary School production of Oliver. He became interested in serious acting by attending Liverpool's Everyman Theatre with his mother. At the age of 14 in 1982, he played roles in Romeo and Juliet and Cinderella at Hilbre High School. In 1984, he was accepted into the National Youth Theatre and moved to London, where he worked part-time in restaurants to finance his education. His parents watched his stage debut as Agamemnon in Troilus and Cressida. He performed with the National Youth Theatre on tours to Valencia and Moscow under the leadership of director Edward Wilson. He entered the Guildhall School of Music and Drama in 1988, and graduated in 1991 after a 3-year course under the tutelage of Colin McCormack, an actor from the Royal Shakespeare Company. Career 1992–2005, early roles and breakthrough. Craig appeared in his first screen role in 1992, playing an Afrikaner in The Power of One. Having played minor roles in the miniseries Anglo-Saxon Attitudes and the shows Covington Cross and Boone, he appeared in November 1993 as Joe in the Royal National Theatre's production of Tony Kushner's Angels in America. Also in 1993, Craig was featured in 2 episodes of the American television shows Zorro and the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, and British shows Heartbeat, Between the Lines, Drop the Dead Donkey and Sharp's Eagle. In 1994, Craig appeared in The Rover, a filmed stage production, and Les Grandes Horizontales, a stage production at the National Theatre Studio, where he first met Rachel Weisz, who would become his second wife. Craig was featured in the poorly received Disney film A Kid in King Arthur's Court. In 1996, Craig starred in the BBC drama serial Our Friends in the North as the troubled Geordie Peacock. Appearing alongside Christopher Eccleston, Gina McKee, and Mark Strong, Craig's part in the series is considered his breakthrough role. In the same year, Craig guest-starred in an episode of the HBO horror anthology series Tales from the Crypt and was featured in the BBC television film Saint X. Craig gave a lead performance in the Franco-German drama Obsession in 1997, about a love triangle between Craig's character and a couple. The same year, he played a leading role in Hurly Burly, a play performed in the West End at the Old Vic. Craig appeared in 3 films in 1998. The independent drama Love and Rage, the biographical drama Elizabeth, in which he played Jesuit priest John Ballard, who was executed for being involved in an attempt to assassinate Queen Elizabeth I of England in the Babington plot, and the BBC television film Love is the Devil, study for a portrait of Francis Bacon, in which Craig played small-time thief George Dyer, who becomes the lover and muse of painter Francis Bacon, who was portrayed by Derek Jacobi. The following year, Craig starred in a television drama called Shockers, The Visitor, and as Sergeant Telford Winter in the independent war film The Trench, which takes place in the confines of the trenches in the First World War during the 48 hours leading up to the Battle of the Somme. Craig played a schizophrenic man who falls in love with a woman after being discharged from psychiatric hospital in the drama Some Voices. Also in 2000, Craig co-starred alongside Toni Collette in the dark comedy Hotel Splendide and was featured in I Dreamed of Africa, based on the life of Kooky Gall Man. Craig played the love interest of Angelina Jolie's character Lara Croft in Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, based on the video game series Tomb Raider. He later admitted to having taken on the role in the poorly reviewed yet commercially successful film only for the paycheck. In 2001, Craig also starred in the 4-part Channel 4 drama Sword of Honor, based on the trilogy of novels of the same. Craig appeared in the anthology film 10 Minutes Older, The Cello, starring in the segment Addicted to the Stars, directed by Michael Radford. His second release of 2002 was Sam Mendes' crime film Road to Perdition with Tom Hanks and Paul Newman, in which he played Irish mobster Connor Rooney, the son of the crime organization's boss. Craig then portrayed German theoretical physicist Werner Heisenberg in the BBC television drama Copenhagen, which depicts Heisenberg's involvement in the German nuclear weapon project during World War II. On stage, Craig starred opposite Michael Gambon in the original production of Caryl Churchill's play A Number from September to November 2002 at the Royal Court Theatre. Craig received a London Evening Standard Theatre Award for Best Actor nomination for his role as a man who is cloned twice by his father. The next year, he starred as poet Ted Hughes opposite Gwyneth Paltrow as Sylvia Plath in the biographical film Sylvia, which depicts the romance between the two poets. In the same year, he appeared in The Mother as a man who engages in an affair with the much older mother of his lover and best friend. The crime thriller Layer Cake, directed by Matthew Vaughn, starred Craig as an unnamed London-based cocaine supplier known only as XXXX in the film's credits. Kevin Crust, writing for the Los Angeles Times, praised Craig's stunningly suave performance, while Roger Ebert thought he was fascinating in the film. Craig next starred as a man who becomes dangerously close with a stranger after witnessing a deadly accident together in Enduring Love. Craig appeared in 3 theatrical films in 2005, all of which were supporting roles. His first release of the year was the thriller The Jacket starring Adrian Brody and Keira Knightley. He then made a brief appearance in the Hungarian film Fateless as a United States Army sergeant who takes a liking to a teenage boy who survives life in concentration camps. Craig's third and final role of the year was in Munich, directed by Steven Spielberg, as a South African driver who is a part of a covert Israeli government assassination mission against 11 Palestinians allegedly involved in the Munich massacre at the 1972 Summer Olympics. Also in 2005, Craig starred in the BBC television film Archangel based on Robert Harris's novel as an English academic who stumbles upon a notebook believed to have belonged to Joseph Stalin. 2006-2021, James Bond /I and worldwide recognition. None. 2022 present, post-Bond work. In 2022, Craig starred in a contemporary revival of Macbeth opposite Ruth Negga on Broadway. The production was widely panned. Variety described his performance writing, "Craig has some strong moments but does not capture the transformation of Macbeth into a power-hungry tyrant." Charity and humanitarian work. In 2007, Craig and British Prime Minister Tony Blair took part in the United Kingdom's comic relief charity fundraiser, ultimately raising more than $90 million. Craig made a cameo appearance as himself in a sketch with Catherine Tate, who appeared in the guise of her character Elaine Figgis from The Catherine Tate Show, for the BBC Red Nose Day 2007 fundraising programme. Craig participated in the Broadway Cares/Equity Fights AIDS fundraising December 8, 2009, raising $1,549,953 in the 21st annual Gypsy of the Year competition, from 6 weeks of curtain appeals at their hit Broadway drama, A Steady Rain. Craig starred in 2011 in a short film narrated by Judi Dench, which was produced for International Women's Day. The next year, Craig worked with Orbis International in Mongolia to raise support and awareness of the Orbis medical team and their Flying Eye Hospital. He is involved with multiple charities including SAFE Kenya, which uses street theatre to address social issues. He is also involved with the Opportunity Network, which provides access to education for low-income students in New York. In 2011, he collaborated with Dame Judi Dench to highlight gender inequality for International Women's Day. In August 2014, he added his name to a letter to British broadcasters calling for better representation of ethnic minorities. In 2015, Craig appeared in the film Comic Relief, Behind the Bond for the BBC Red Nose Day 2015 fundraising programme. In April 2015, the United Nations appointed Craig the first global advocate for the elimination of mines and explosive hazards. The role involves raising awareness for the UN Mine Action Service, and political and financial support for the cause. Former UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon told Craig, "You have been given a license to kill, I'm now giving you a license to save." In 2019, Craig appeared in a video with the Secretary-General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, and launched the UNMISS Safe Ground campaign to turn minefields into playing fields. Politics. In 2012, Craig expressed a dislike and distrust for politics and politicians in general, being quoted as saying politicians are shitheads. That's how they become politicians, even the good ones. We're actors. We're artists, we're very nice to each other. They'll turn around and stab you in the fucking back. He has been particularly scathing about Tony Blair, going as far as comparing Blair's penchant for befriending celebrities to the book Mephisto. He also expressed a reluctance to involve himself with politicians, arguing that by doing so you immediately are aligning yourself with a political party. Craig supported Barack Obama in the 2008 and 2012 U.S. presidential elections. He was outspoken about his opposition to Brexit before the 2016 EU membership referendum. In 2016, he was pictured wearing a Vote Remain t-shirt which was adorned with the words, "No man is an island. No country by itself." Personal life. In 1992, Craig married actress Fiona Loudon. They had a daughter named Ella before divorcing in 1994. He later began a relationship with German actress Heike Makitsch, which lasted for 7 years before ending in 2004. He subsequently dated and was engaged to film producer Satsuki Mitchell from 2005 until 2010. Craig and actress Rachel Weisz had known each other since working together on Les Grandes Horizontales. They began dating in December 2010, and were married in a private ceremony in New York City on June 22, 2011, with only 4 guests in attendance, including Craig's daughter and Weisz's son. It was reported on September 1, 2018 that their first child together, a daughter, had been born. In January 2018, Craig purchased a house in Brooklyn, New York, for an amount in excess of $6 million. He is an avid fan of Liverpool FC, and is also a fan of rugby, having travelled to Australia in 2013 to watch the British and Irish Lions tour. In 2019, Craig announced he had American citizenship. Craig was appointed Companion of the Order of St. Michael and St. George in the 2022 New Year Honours for services to film and theatre. This was the same honour held by Ian Fleming's James Bond, according to From Russia, with Love. Filmography: films, television, theater, video games, commercials. Awards and nominations.